Hey guys, what's up? We are back at Nelson Ledges. I was just here a couple videos ago and we were doing some testing of the Canon EOS M200. I said it was really nice out, and so we got out to do a little bit of hiking, take some pictures of waterfalls and stuff. Well, then the very next day we had a huge ice storm, and then today woke up and it was a bunch of snow. So we got a bunch of ice and a bunch of snow. So I figured I'd come back and practice some more long exposure photography with the two different waterfalls that are here. And then depending on the time, we may go over to the lake by my house called Mosquito Lake and do some long exposure photography there. I did not have an adapter for the Canon EOS M200 the last time I was here that allowed me a step-up ring that allowed me to use my ND filter on it. I have that now, which will allow me to better perform the long exposure photography. Brought the dog with me. Bandit, come here. Got the doggo with me. We're the only ones here. Let's head to the first waterfall. Alright guys, we made it to the waterfall. You can kind of see it behind the trees here. Can't see it too well from here. But so like I said, we're gonna head down to it and get a couple shots with the long exposure, see what it looks like. It's very pretty out. There's ice and snow, you know, it's that wet snow, so it's sticking to everything. The tree limbs, the tree branches, everything. Bandit's having a good time. You having a good time, buddy? Where'd you go? I can't see you in the snow. There you are. Hey, Bandit, come here. You having a good time? Good boy. He's having a good time. All right, let me go over here and see if we get some photographs. I'll show you guys the difference. So if you're thinking about doing long exposure, I thought while I did this, I'd give you a little bit of a tutorial. If you're new to photography, and I'm no expert by any means. However, you need three things. You need a camera, you need a tripod, and you need an ND filter. I use variable ND filters because I hate having to swap them out and stuff, but you can use, you know, if you don't use a variable ND filter, you're probably gonna get a little bit better results. However, that's what I use. So, what you gotta do is put your ND filter on. That way you can have a very slow shutter speed. You wanna have a shutter speed of 2 to 3, even possibly 4, 5, or 6 seconds. As you create that longer shutter speed, what it does is it kind of causes the water to flow together. So what I'm gonna do first is right now on screen, I'm gonna show you guys a picture, just shooting it like if you just pulled out your camera and took a shot. So you can see it here on screen. You can kind of see how the water is, you know, just like you would see it in real life. And now I'm gonna show a picture on the screen of the waterfall where I'm using a slow shutter speed. So I'm using an ISO of 100. I'm using an aperture in between 8 and 11 because that's typically what's good for landscapes. And then I'm using a shutter speed somewhere in between 3 seconds to 6 seconds. I'm gonna play with it. I haven't actually taken the shot yet, but this is that shot now. And you can kind of see how the water, everything else is in focus because I'm using a tripod, which is very important. However, you can see that the water is kind of all blended together, giving it kind of that velvety flowing type look, which is really nice. So that's the difference. That's what we're out here trying to shoot today. That's what we brought the dog out for because like I said, the weather was just perfect for it. With the snow and the ice and everything, it just looks perfect. There's icicles hanging off all the rocks, the green from all the moss and everything, and the ferns, and then of course the white and the waterfall. Picture perfect. All right, let me grab these shots. we just finished up at the first waterfall, so as we're walking, me and Bandit's walking to the second waterfall, I'm gonna go ahead and show some of the images of what you can get when you're using long exposure. Again, in order to do it, you're just using a really long shutter speed, and in order to use a really long shutter speed and still keep your aperture and everything where you want it for landscape photography in that 8 to 11 range, you're gonna have to use an ND filter. But like I said, flashing some of them on the screen now just to show you guys what we got at the first waterfall. Heading over to the second one. I hate winter, as I've said in a lot of vlogs, so I'm sure there's some of you guys that are like, yo, so what are you doing out in the cold? Well, the truth is, I told myself this year that when we had good snows and good, ice storms and things like that, that I was gonna make it a point to get outside more instead of just sitting in the house all winter. So, I invested in a bunch of outdoor gear, big heavy coat, good hat, good old hiking boots, winter hiking boots that are good up to like -40 degrees Fahrenheit. So I've got a bunch of winter gear. And actually, to be completely honest, I don't feel too bad out here when I got all this gear on. I'm actually sweating a little bit, so. All right, heading over to the second waterfall. Bandit's having a blast too. And then, like I said, depending on the time, we might also swing by the lake and get some long exposure shots there. The nice thing about doing it on a lake is if the lake has any waves or anything, you ever see photos where you get that real glass-like surface? Everything's real smooth on the, the lake and all that, the water. That's typically using long exposure. Same thing as like with the waterfalls. What it does is it causes the waves to kind of just, that long exposure to smooth everything out. Just like it does with the water in the waterfall. So like I said, I want to try it out there, testing out this new ND filter I got. I have one already, but picked up another one just to see if it's any better than the one I currently have. This is so cool, all this ice on everything. Here, let me show you guys a clip of this ice on these tree branches. All right, let's head over to this other waterfall. Alright guys, we just finished up at the second waterfall. It looks like we got some time to head over to the lake, so we're gonna head over there now. Whew. Getting up from that waterfall is a little bit of a hike. I'm out of breath. Bandit's still enjoying himself, but we're gonna head to the car. Luckily the lake's in another area, so it'll give him time to warm up. Give me time to warm up. Might stop and grab a water or a coffee. Then we're gonna head over to the lake. But right now we're gonna head to the car. With having Bandit and everything here, it's a little difficult to film as we're driving to the next location. So with that said, and boom, we're at the lake, guys. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna set up the tripod and stuff, try to get a couple long exposures of this. Got this little piece of land coming out here with all the trees and stuff, so I think I'm gonna try to get that on the left side of my frame and then kind of go out into the rest of this is kind of my frame here behind me, see what I can get. The snow's starting to pick up a little bit, so it's probably kind of hard to see here, but it almost looks foggy in the background. That's all the snow. So we'll see how it works out, but we're still gonna give it a try. So, all right, let me see what we can get. Still got the dog with me. We having a good time today. I'm glad I ended up picking up all this winter gear. It's actually not too bad once we're out here. All right, let's see what kind of photos I can get. Got a couple shots. Unfortunately, as I was saying there when we first got here, the snow's starting to come down a little heavier, which means, unfortunately, the shots I don't think are turning out as good, because now I'm not getting any of the trees or the other shoreline off in the distance, kind of in the shots. I'll have to see for sure once I get them home on the computer, but like I said, it kind of looks like a big fog just kind of took over, you know, once you start getting out into the lake a little bit. With that said, it was still a lot of fun today getting out and stuff and trying out the long exposure and trying out this new ND filter. I do gotta say, I think the ND filter I already had is better. This one I'm getting a little bit of that cross pattern, whereas with my other one, I do not. If you've ever used ND filters, variable ND filters, you know what I'm talking about. But it was a good day with the dog, good day getting out, good day to get to test all of the new winter hiking gear and stuff that I got to see how it worked in the cold. Works great, by the way, which means I can get out a lot more in weather like this. Although it is a lot colder here at the lake than it was at the ledges. The wind coming off the lake, off that water and stuff, whoo! I'm ready to get home, have a cup of coffee. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of the pictures and stuff. As I'm sitting here walking to the car and stuff, I'll go ahead and throw some of the ones from here up, even though, like I said, they really didn't turn out that great, I don't think, because of the snow coming in. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button below. Also, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications when I post a new video, so that you guys see when I post that new video. I already said that, I don't know. And until next time, peace out, everybody. Bandit, let's go. It's cold, I need a coffee.